Doesn't give you a countdown. Damn it. It kills me when it doesn't give you a countdown. Hey, everyone. Welcome to SVT time. It is Tuesday. It is February.
I think it's
I was like, is it?
Where did I even get that from? It's March. I'm looking at my calendar up here. It is March 18th, Tuesday, SVT time. This is episode 82. So far,
your name's Dino.
My name's Dino. You're Dom. And we have a very special guest today, Tim Starace from YYNOT, from Bubba Bash, from Tech 21. Man, it's Tim. Thank you so much for doing this. This is going to be awesome. I'm so glad you could do this.
Thank you for having me on. This is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, dude. It's funny because like at the end of these episodes, usually we'll ask viewers like, hey, what do you want to see? Who do you want us to talk to? Who do you want? And more than a few people are like, you got to get Tim from YYNOT on here because, if you look at any of your concert footage or Bubba Bash or any of that, like there's always two SVTs behind you on stage too. So
always,
so yeah, it was definitely, so you came and that when I saw you at NAMM, I was like, oh, by the way, I need to talk to you about coming on SVT time. So,
and here also, you are. By the way, you're very hard to find. They tuck you away at NAMM.
They do that on purpose.
Yeah, you do.
I had to grease my way into getting that room. Not for nothing.
I'm like the olive loaf at the deli. You can't find me anywhere.
but you're happy when you do. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, NAMM was really weird this year. We were in a separate room. And it was good because we were in our own room. We didn't have, I won't say distractions, but we weren't in the big Yamaha kingdom. We had our own private room.
Yeah, so. I would say we weren't the distraction this time.
Yeah, we weren't the distraction this time. We were the main event. So, but NAMM was good for you as well, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's always great, and it's good to see NAMM coming back a little bit.
Yeah.
Our numbers, the response, it was just really cool. We dipped our toe back in the NAMM water last year.
Yes.
Just to see, and then we kind of upped our game this year. We're not as big as we have been like for the last 20 some odd years as far as, what we're doing at NAMM, but we're finding out that it's definitely great again.
Yeah.
Had a great time at NAMM. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be honest. The only thing I miss is not being down on the main floor. I love having our private room because we have our we can control our atmosphere.
Yeah,
right.
But I just miss seeing everybody walking by the booth.
It's great,
and hey, there's Ampeg. Let's walk in and say hi.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. So, But I just want to address a quick question here from Cameron in Australia asking if it's okay to ask Tim a Tech 21 question. Of course it is.
Sure.
Absolutely. So at least I'm saying it. I know it's an Ampeg broadcast, but of course, and I just want to clarify one thing here. So, because I was telling Tim at the beginning of this, like I had more than a few people reach out saying, dude, that's so cool. Like, Ampeg and Tim from Tech 21, like not many people do that. Manufacturers do it. And Daniel, like I was saying, Daniel Keller was saying, man, if only our world leaders took a page from that chapter on like being able to get together and work. Anyways, my clarification on this is we've always had such a can I say harmonious, synonymous type of relationship.
All of the above.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I remember years ago when people would ask, artists would be going on fly dates. They'd be like, dude, I can't bring my SVT on the plane. So what do you just buy a bass driver? Like just buy a bass driver. It's phantom powered and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible combination. It really is. I refuse to play through any other backline than SVTs, but every once in a while you have to, and you miss it. But I just find that, some may see it as like some kind of redundancy, but, I use a power driver rather than a bass driver, which is just my little thing.
Okay.
And SansAmp power driver.
Yeah.
But nothing else sounds like that power driver into that SVT. It's just like the perfect combination for me. You know, it just truly is. You know, guitar players have all their pedals, you know, and they do it for a reason, you know, like I did that. Yeah. You know, but it's just awesome.
Here's my main board.
What do you got?
My main board. That look familiar? I got the anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, the 30th anniversary. Yeah. Oh, dude, that is a great wireless.
Great. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got the same one.
Is that the new one? Is that the Plus? The 5G?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, because I was using. Oh, by the way, Ryan at Shore is a fantastic dude. He's great, and I was using those, and I found out that in certain venues with a lot of cell phone use, I was getting a little bit of interference, and Ryan had told me they're coming out with a new one, and this is like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and I got that one, and it's outstanding. I haven't had one issue.
Same. Yeah.
So Dom, so are you ditching the G70 now?
Unfortunately.
And the reason why I'm asking is because Dom and I were both using G70 systems.
Right.
And I'm
so was I.
Yeah, it was a great.
I love the preset vibe of it. All the features, all the mounting and everything was amazing.
But I started running into more and more times where I was getting a little. It's the cell phones and the routers and.
Because I'd go into a sound check and it'd be totally fine, and then an hour later, all those people with cell phones.
We did a show last month, actually this month, down at the NASCAR museum in Charlotte.
Oh, cool!
And same thing during sound check, and then as we're sound checking, I was getting a lot of crosstalk, and one of the techs comes over. He goes, "Dude, there's like 3,000 like different channels flying around this entire complex." He says, "I'm surprised you're even getting signal to your wireless at this point." He says, just plug in, use a cord. So anyways,
but if you get a chance and it's time to upgrade, the new one, the GLDX or one, the Plus, it operates on the 5 gigahertz bandwidth.
Okay.
I've had no issues.
Awesome.
I just got it like a couple months ago, so I think that is it.
Now, how do you guys go about switching basses? Because that's what I liked about the G70 is you can just step on the pedal
system
and
go. I think up to 2 packs. So I bought 2
different. Actually, I think 3 is the max that it'll handle. But I do the same thing. I just turn one off, grab the other bass, turn the other one on. Boom. Okay. And what's awesome is my Rick has lower output than my jazz basses, so I can up the gain. On my Rick transmitter.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a beefy metal pack. It doesn't have the antenna. It's just got a little nibble.
And they're rechargeable.
You know?
Here we are selling freaking Shore products now.
Who would have thought?
But wait, there's more. Diodario. Diodario, and we all love Rob at Diodario. Diodario makes a cable for them. It's like as big as my pinky. Fat.
Oh, no kidding.
You know?
Okay.
And I use those. Yeah, because I never take them off the straps. I just throw them right back in.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I haven't been able to kill one of them yet.
That's great.
You know. So,
there was a company years ago that was making custom cables for the old Shure systems where they were coil, like old retro coil cables.
Oh, really? Oh, that must look pretty cool.
And I have yet to drag mine out again and see if it works with that. It probably won't work with this new pack, but I'm sure they're doing updated systems. But it's kind of cool. It's like using an old vintage.
It's like the coming together of all the companies.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
And we could all just talk about it.
You know, we all, the way I look at it is we all serve the same people. You know what I mean? We serve bassists and musicians, and there's obviously there's healthy competition, and sometimes there's unhealthy competition, but for the most part, we all serve, we all travel in the same circles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all know the same criminals, basically.
Right. Yeah. Hey, we weren't supposed to talk about that.
Oh yeah, that's right too. So Tim, let's talk a little bit about we originally from New Jersey.
No.
Because you Florida?
No.
Where?
I grew up in Farmingdale, Long Island.
Okay. Home of Diodario.
Right? Yeah. Dude, I got a Diodario story too. Grew up in Farmingdale, Long Island. I'm the youngest of 7.
Okay.
Around, like 8 years old or 8-ish, 9, I discovered Kiss. Right. Seriously. And I don't know why. I just wanted to be Gene Simmons. I just did. I wanted to play bass. I wanted to be Gene Simmons. And my brother played guitar, just jamming around. And at a yard sale, I bought this album called Learn How to Play Electric Bass by Ear with the Ventures. Wow. And I bought it for 50 cents. And I took it home and I cut 2 strings off my brother's acoustic guitar. And I started teaching myself La Bamba.
Okay.
And then I just kept doing it. And, my parents bought me like this plywood bass from the mall. And I kept doing it and started taking lessons. And then my teacher said, hey, listen to this. And he played like What You're Doing by Rush. And then that was that. I said, I want to do that now. I did that. I want to do this. And then that was it. And then I didn't leave my bedroom till I was about 16.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was it.
Almost identical to my upbringing. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 8.
Oh, there you go.
But Gene Simmons, Kiss, that whole, what was it? The Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm telling you, it's amazing in our generation how many of us musicians were started off by those 4 guys from Brooklyn or the Bronx or Queens or wherever they're from.
Yeah.
Like Kiss. You know.
They were our Beatles. They were our generation of the Beatles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the way they influenced a lot of players to pick up a guitar. Yeah. Definitely. Now, did you go to school? Did you play in school?
Once in a while.
After that? Okay. All right.
I went to school every now and then. I used to dream about going to college when I'd fall asleep in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, my bad. No, I took music theory in high school, but spent most of my time carving Dio lyrics in the desk. It was just stuff like that. I didn't pay attention. I never learned how to read music. I don't understand theory. I'm totally an ear and heart player. And looking back at that now, I really wish that I would have gained the education and the knowledge, because I feel, listen to all you kids out there, learn how to do this the right way. Because no, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage sometimes when I'm working with real musicians, that I don't speak their language and stuff like that. But I just say, just play and I'll follow you. And then, it works out really well. Yeah. But I wish that I would have. No, this is all just from sequestering myself in my bedroom, wearing the grooves off albums. Yeah. Learning,
Yep. No, and that is, don't ever discount, that's just as much a musician as anyone else. It's you communicate with notes, basically. But
I'd much rather be an ears and heart player than only know theory. Like if it was reversed and you only knew theory and didn't have a good ear or be able to feel it. I don't want to live in that world.
every couple of years I go, all right, I'm going to apply myself. I'm going to try to do this. And like 10 minutes later, nah, forget it. Yeah. Well, really, just tell me where you want me to go.
but at your point in your career and your point in life, obviously we're always trying to improve our playing, our musicianship, that'll go to the day we die. But as long as that doesn't hinder you being able to progress as a musician, whether you read music or not, if you can still progress as a musician, learn new licks here, at this point, it's kind of like, well, what's the point?
Right. What are you saying?
Well, no, but
that old.
But it's well, I am. No, but but it's like, it's like we're setting our ways of how we learn things and how we progress as musicians. It's like, I'm not going to sit down and like, I'm not going to back up 20 steps just so I can learn to read music, so I can fast forward back up to where I am right now, when I'm already there. I just show me what you need to show me, or
Pretty much,
I'll go listen to it or watch it, or we're all
that makes perfect sense. Setting our ways. I know I am. I say it a lot. I'm like a woolly mammoth stuck in a tar pit. I'm going to play a jazz bass and a rick. I'm going to use an SVT. I'm going to play through my SansAmp. This is it. I'm going to try to stay as analog as I can. I want loud amps,
Yep.
I've only been on in-ears like 2 years now.
Really?
Yeah, I was the last holdout.
Yeah.
So everybody in the band was on in-ears and you were still on monitors, or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's funny? Wow. I was ready to sound check way earlier than them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But now we got it down to a science. Yeah.
No question.
We travel with an IEM rig, and I haven't touched my mix in a year.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
So I have so many questions. So did you step away from playing for a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the local Long Island scene, went out to Hollywood, was going to be a rock star.
Yeah.
Did some stuff with Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx in a band Hot Shot I was in. Came back with my tail between my legs. Did some stuff with Stuttering John from Howard Stern.
Okay.
And then rock and roll just got to me, man. It was a little too much for me at that point. So I just sold every piece of gear I had, everything.
Wow.
Every single thing. Got on my Harley and went down to Florida.
Okay.
And I was going to be a mechanic.
Okay.
So I became a mechanic. Working on like high-end European vehicles. I learned how to do that, blah, blah, blah. And it was great. I was having the time of my life. Scooting around Florida, bleeding, wrenching, bleeding.
Yeah.
For about 16 years. Didn't touch or own a bass, nothing. And then like in 2013, we were at the clubhouse one night and somebody said, "Hey, Ratchet, didn't you used to play bass?" And I hopped up and played War Pigs, and it was like I never stopped, except that I could only play for like 20 seconds without cramping,
Yeah.
But, and then that happened a couple times and I just realized how much I missed it. How much fun it was, that part of me that I kind of stifled because I was mad at it.
Yeah.
Because I was mad at it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to never do it again because of it. Yeah, that's going to work. Yeah.
I think my grandmother called biting your nose off to spite your face.
Oh, yeah. So that I didn't fight that anymore. And then I started, playing the bass again. I bought a jazz bass and a rick and an SVT and some SansAmps and, and then that was it, and then I fell ass backwards into this really cool band called YYNOT. I met Billy Alexander online. We met on Facebook and we started doing those 4-box videos like before it was cool. Yeah. Because he lived in California and I was in Florida and the drummer was like in Massachusetts and the singer was somewhere else. And we just started doing this shit and people liked it. And Billy's an original artist and we recorded like the whole first album without meeting each other. And people liked it. And then he goes, "Hey, you think we could do this live?" I'm like, "Why not?" So I flew out to California. I met him and we played a show and it was sold out in Long Beach. And then now we just do it. We are the most inefficient band in the whole world. Because 2 of us live in California. 2 of us live here in Jersey. The drummer moved here for some reason. I don't know why. From Huntington Beach, California, wanted to come live in Jersey, But we hook up, a couple times a month in some city.
Yeah.
Our rehearsals are at sound check. We try new stuff out. If it doesn't suck, we play it for the people, and then we go home, and then we do it again in a couple weeks.
Wow.
I think like in 8 years we have like maybe 7 or 10 rehearsals ever, but it's fun that way. It's like walking on a tightrope. Yeah.
I mean, especially Rush tunes, though, dude. It's not like you're pulling off like Mustang Sally and Knock on Wood. It's like
right.
Well,
Exactly.
you know, that's why we've been through so many, a couple singers, because it's not an easy gig.
Right.
Right. It's, hey man, I want to do that. This is going to be great. What do you mean I got to fly to Decatur, Illinois, and drive in a van for 6 hours to the next show, and drummers. But the crew we have now is the best ever. Mike's been our drummer since 2020. Adi for 2 years, our singer, and me and Billy. If either of us go, it's done. Because we're a family. It's just totally great. And it's heart attack rock and roll, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, did you start?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dom. Go ahead.
Michael was asking if you have a favorite YYNOT song featuring your bass playing or bass riff in a YYNOT song.
Oh, I love them all, but Chemical Burn is a blast to play. It really is.
Nice.
So that one and Bully and Open Book and Hourglass.
Now,
I
was going to say, did YYNOT start as an original band and started doing Rush covers, or did you start as a Rush tribute thing? Because you're not really. Would you call yourself a Rush tribute band per se?
Dale coined a moniker for us, which I love. We are an original progressive rock band with a marked propensity for playing vintage Rush.
Nice.
Only from Dale. I love her.
Isn't that great? Marked propensity. What had happened was I discovered like social media. So I would come home from work in my mechanic shirt, and I got a webcam, and I would like play these Rush covers, but it was just my beard down because I didn't know how to make the camera bigger. And I just met Billy online. Billy had wrote this original song in the vein of Rush, and we met on Facebook, and then we started doing that. So in all actuality, YYNOT started with an original composed song by Billy Alexander titled YYNOT. Then we started doing those covers, and then more originals and covers and more originals, and
Gotcha.
It just created itself, man.
That's amazing.
Because I remember that too. Because I remember when you first started putting out videos and YouTube videos, and it was you playing. It was just you playing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this in the chat, and I'll put it in the I'll put it up for anybody that wants to take a look here. So this is I think I got it. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it. Where is it? Here it is.
I see our website link there. Oh, okay.
Yep, there we go. Yep. And I'll put it up on Facebook too here. So
thank you.
Now, I mean, I've yet to see the band live. I've seen a lot of the video footage and clips and stuff like that. And I mean, you pull stuff off. Like now you've gotten into not just bass playing, but Moog pedals.
Yes.
Like
there's a couple of the puppies right there.
Oh, nice. There's multiple.
But they don't leave the house.
Okay.
You can't see them over here. I think I own every set of Roland PK5As in the Northern Hemisphere. I do. I have 2 that live here, 2 that live in Wisconsin, and 2 that live in California, because they're a bitch to fly with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I play all the keys and the triggers and the samples.
Yeah.
And I run it all off a Mac, using this really cool program called Gig Performer. It's like it's a host for VSTs.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mainstage, but like an adult version. Yeah, it's really great. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds fun.
Oh, basically all my keyboards are in my laptop. I play them all live, but all the sounds are there. So I just have this rig strategically placed throughout the country. Yeah. And you fly in and, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So everything you're doing is from a controller, basically, then.
Yes. Yeah. I use an M Audio Oxygen 61 Pro keyboard and 2 Roland PK5As. Yeah, for foot pedals,
Yeah.
So
really,
favorite bass to play, and then do you travel with multiple basses, or do you also have those kind of scattered?
Okay, here we go again. I have a whole stable of Geddy Lee jazz basses, Japanese ones only, and I have them strategically placed around the United States. My Rickenbackers there's 3 of them. I got a 81 white one, a 77 jet glow, and this one is actually Dale's. This Bird's Eye Maple 71.
Wow.
Mwah. Sweet.
Yeah.
And I'll fly with the Rick, because I can't have them all over the place.
Yeah.
But what's really cool, like when we first started, our fans, like Michael Kowalski, who's on the chat, he would show up with like a set of PK5s and his Geddy Lee jazz bass.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Our fans like do anything to help us, so we can play in their city or
cool.
they understand, So long story short, I got stuff all over the place, but we get a lot of help from our fans. Like if we need an amp for Billy or I need some backline or something, they show up with it. It's really great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, if you get up this way,
I know. If we get up that way, I'm definitely doing it.
You know who to call.
But I have to say, my jazz bass, my Geddy Jazzes are my favorite because I feel they're way more versatile than my Rick. But the Rick has just that sound that cuts through that mix and play like butter. But there's just some things I can't do on a Rick, but I can do it all on that jazz bass.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I play with just the jazz bass.
Yeah. Do you find I love Ricks. I love the way they look. I love the way they sound. I have a hard time playing them because of the string spacing, because they're not. It's like almost the same string spacing down by the bridge as it is up in the nut. It's not as. Do you find yourself having to readjust, or do you have a hard time switching from the Rick to the jazz, or do you switch basses in the middle of a gig?
I switch basses in a gig.
You do
in the middle of a gig, but I find Ricks extremely difficult to play sometimes, and they're not for everyone. And for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I love playing my Rick. I have no issues. It's just natural where I just palm, on the fatty part of my palm. I don't rest my thumb anywhere on the Rick. You got to float.
Yeah.
And I find, I got these tiny little sausages. I mean, they're little, and the Rick is just great. I really love the feel of my Rick.
Yeah.
So I don't find it difficult to play at all. I just find it less versatile than the jazz bass.
Yeah. And it seems like, I mean, I love the Geddy Jazz. And with Ricks, it seems like they're, I won't say inconsistent, but like,
oh no, you can.
All right.
They are.
But
they are.
It seems like I have an easier time playing the newer Ricks than I do the older Ricks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's right or not.
I got 3 specimens from 3 eras here, and 3 absolutely totally different neck profiles.
No kidding, huh?
Oh yeah, like my white one. A beautiful specimen right here. 1981. This neck is like a pull stick. It is so thin that I had to put a new nut on it to bring the strings in.
Oh, wow.
It's like literally like, Yeah.
But
then my 77 is like a 2x4, a flat 2x4. It's
no
really
kidding.
Great. Yeah. I learned to tell by the length of the volute. If I saw online, if the volute goes further down, the neck's going to be thinner. It's just how they sanded them,
Oh, interesting.
And I love all of them.
Yeah. Well, they all have a different personality, right?
It all depends on, how many margaritas at lunch for the guy on the machine,
And you're not wrong about that either.
But that's part of their charm, they weren't cookie cutter.
Yeah. Yep. And that's part of the charm of them.
Yeah.
That's part of a handmade instrument.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
I'm going to address some questions here. Where did we leave off? Does Tim run his from John Willis? Does Tim run his SansAmp into the front of his SVT or into power amp in?
Oh.
Great question.
If I wanted to power amp in, why would I use an SVT? The flavor of that SVT is through that front hall. I mean, you can put it in the back if you want, but my whole thing is to Dino's laughing.
I knew he was going to catch me on that.
I prefer to go in the front because that's the sound of the SVT.
Yeah.
You know, I don't set it flat per se. You know, it's like I'm using two preamps. Almost.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at it right now. I'm kind of bumping everything a little bit. I keep my gain down and my volume up because I don't want to drive my SVT. Because I'm getting that from my SansAmp. Yep. You know, it's just so I can have that SVT cranked on 12 sound and still talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do a similar thing with my SansAmp where I'm essentially using, I'll use that in tandem with the SG-TDI where for the most part, I'm using the B15-ish, kind of like a little bit more mid-growl of the SG-TDI. And then the SansAmp almost does like the scooped ultra low thing for me when I need to. And so it is almost like the two preamp thing.
Right, yeah. And I like mids. I don't like the scoopy thing. You know? Because I got to cut through cymbals and loud guitar. And I don't want to be loud. I don't want to have to crank it up. I like it. But, you know, for sake of front of house guys, and we're there for the people, not there for me, you know. So I want it to sound good out there. And I dial in my mids around, ready, folks? Like 1.8 to 2K. That's where I'll boost.
Okay.
That's where I'll boost my mid. That's where I find for me and the gear I use that it gets me the most real estate cutting through wise.
Gotcha.
You know? Gives me that appearance of being louder than I actually am.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I do. So I try to stay away from the scoopy thing. Scoopy sounds great in your bedroom, you know, but once you got Gibsons and big cymbals.
Yeah, it's hard to cut
what
through.
happens? You know? The only guy I know who mastered the scoop is Doug. You know,
I was just going to say
he's all here and he's all here.
Yep.
And Ty lives right in the middle. You know?
I was just going to say, but he's also playing that big 12 string 8 or is it 12? It's a 12 string, right? Yeah.
It's all the strings. Yeah.
Man.
And
I was as soon as you said that too.
Yeah. And he alternate tuning CFCG, you know. Doug's a sweetheart. I love him dearly.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's and again, getting back to the whole, you know, we love Doug. He was on the Ampeg roster for the longest time. And then I know you did the Doug preamp, and then you were doing cabinets for Doug as well. And I remember having this conversation with Doug too. Like, this is how sweet of a guy he is. Like, hey man, listen, you know, and I'm not going to even try and do his voice, but he was like, you know, Dale and Tech 21, they're building this stuff for me. So would it be cool if I was like, Doug, you are one of those guys, dude. You have license to do whatever you want to do, and is totally fine with me. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you need from me, just ask, and whatever you need from them, just ask. And, you know, and that's kind of the relationship we've always had with him. He's just such a sweet guy. I am going to get to Cameron because we told Cameron we'd answer the question here. So question from Cameron was, why was the Q strip pedal discontinued?
Well, as with anything, you know, you come out with new products, something has to get out of the way. You know, it would be great that we could, you know, just like Ampeg knows, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could just carry unlimited SKUs? You just can't, you know? So sometimes you go by just what you're thinking, you know, you look at numbers or the way the market's going, and you just have to make those tough decisions where you got to kick one of your kids out of the house. It doesn't mean they can't come back, you know? It just means for now, they got to go.
Great answer.
So,
it's hard to maintain.
And you
there's
know
a lot of people, and there's on the, you know, in the sausage factory side of things, it's like you gotta, now there's all those, you have limited resourcing, and those people are maintaining all those SKUs live, whether that's a sales team and or the supply chain and or, you know, so it's like Yeah, sometimes you gotta put things on the shelf.
I still haven't spoken. I still haven't spoken to Dom since he discontinued the double 18 ported vented cab that Ampeg used.
Oh, that was you? Oh, I'm done.
Yeah, I hate phone apparently.
No, but that I mean that we run into that all the time.
Yeah, but see, but can you make one that only weighs 6 pounds?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. We cover this in every SVT time.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, we
do.
No
matter how many bells, no matter what you put on it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just,
Yeah. Yeah. It's and especially at NAMM, we get the, we get a lot of that, well, why'd you guys discontinue that? It's like, I don't know. And I'll point to Don and say, I don't know. He's the product manager. Hey, so tell me us about Bubba Bash real quick.
Oh, Bubba Bash.
Actually, all not right, real quick. Let's get into that.
Well, Bubba Bash is really dear to my heart. As it turned out, several years ago, we had a show scheduled at a big theater in Philadelphia. And not until after we were already promoting it did I realize that the date fell on the second anniversary of Neil's passing, Neil Peart.
Yep.
So having already been very close with, his best buddy, security guard, the Rush Camper, just I just hit him up and said, hey, is it cool that we do this? Is there something we can do? Maybe, his name is Michael Mosback. He's the guy who rides all the every motorcycle picture you see with Neil's him. Praetorian Animus, his security guy, the guy running down the hall with him.
Yeah.
And then I said, Mike Portnoy came to see us not too long ago, and he lives close. Can you see maybe if he could just come and play a song or something? Yeah. Maybe we'll do something. We'll try to figure something out. And through that, the Bubba Bash was born. We just kept getting more and more people wanting to be involved with it. Jonathan Dinklage, violinist.
Yeah.
John Wesley from Vertical Horizon. Joe Bergamini, Jason Bittner. Basically all Neil's musical friends came together, and we contacted Cedars-Sinai, which is the hospital that took care of Neil for the last 4 years of his life, and asked them if we could do something, that we could donate money. And they allowed us to, link up to their website. And we did this big, huge fundraiser, and we sold it out. And we raised like $100,000 the first year through auction items and T-shirt sales and donations to Cedars-Sinai. And it just was like the coolest thing, That's awesome. It was really great. So now we do it every year. We just did the third one.
Okay.
The core lineup stays the same. It's every January. The next one is January 10th at the Keswick Theater. And I think I sent you a link to the Cedars-Sinai page.
I just put it up there.
You can donate all year long.
Yeah.
It goes right to Cedars-Sinai. There's no middleman,
That's
okay. So this year we had Tyler Warren and Coco. Coco.
Yeah. Yep. Oh,
yeah. He killed it. Frank Bello, Mike Portnoy, all those guys, Seven Anthonopoulos, Ed Toth from the Doobie Brothers. Who'd have thought the Doobie Brothers drummer would have been the guy to knock me on my ass at the Bubba Bash? Oh my God, he was great.
That's so cool.
Yeah. That's what that is. That's something we do every year, and it's really great. And thanks for letting me talk about that.
Yeah. No. I gotta say, I was a Rush fan, much like you. When I first started playing, then I kind of fell out of just stopped. I listened to other stuff. I stopped listening to Rush. And then somebody gave me the Russian Rio DVD, and I instantly fell back in love with Rush.
Yeah.
And then I, being a motorcycle rider, I read Neil's not his first book, but I read Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah.
And I was like,
what a story, huh?
oh my God, like just
Chilled
tears
right
tears your heart out.
Yeah.
And then I read his other book about the one about bicycling. I can't remember the title of it. The one where he bicycled around. And,
Right.
but I read all his books, and I don't know. At one point, and I don't know if you know this or not, I wrote an odd meter book that
really?
That was published by Hal Leonard years ago. Let me see if I have it here. I'm going to plug my own book here. Actually.
Oh yeah.
So it was originally under this cover from Hal Leonard, and then I republished it under this. But in the credits, I credited Neil and the guys from Rush, because that's part of where I learned to play a lot of these weird time signatures. And of course, being Greek, you have no choice. You get thrown out of the Greek Orthodox Church if you don't dance in five. So yeah, and I remember like this all came together at the same time. I was reading the book, and at one point I was just going to send them a copy of the book to the Rush fan club, and at some point I probably still will. I never got around to doing it, but yeah, it really struck me at that point. And then of course, years later, we saw Rush on the farewell tour, and I think at that point. Yeah, nobody knew. I don't think anybody knew that Neil was sick at that point, or at least I had no idea. And then shortly thereafter, he had passed away. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, wow. Anyways, that is such a great thing that you're doing with Bubba Bash, man. And please continue to remind me, because you're a train ride away or a day's drive away to get down there. So
you got to come. It's an epic evening. It's really insane, because all these musicians who never met each other, some did, some didn't, show up, run through half of their song at sound check, and then go out and play it. And we haven't had one single train wreck. Everybody is a pro, no bad apples in the bunch. We have fun. We sell out the hotel too, by the way. So they let us do whatever we want.
Of course.
We have big get-togethers, and everything's just great. It's a great event.
That is fantastic.
But you can catch YYNOT anytime. YYNOTband.com's got our whole schedule. We'll be in Chicago and Michigan next weekend.
Okay.
I believe.
I'm going to put that link back up. Yeah. And all these are fly dates for you.
Well, we will be here in New Jersey and Long Island in May, and I think we got a Buffalo date, which is a drive date. And then we got to go to Boca for 2 nights.
Bummer.
Then I'm out in California. We're doing the Belly Up and the Coach House. And,
cool.
In Chicago, on the 28th and 29th, we'll be at the Emerald Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan, which is fantastic, and the Arcada, which is a killer venue, man. That's one of Ron Onesti's joints. He's got the Plains Theater and Arcada. We usually do both of those twice a year. Those are always fun. I love the big venues.
Man, that is so much fun. That is.
I just gave him my backline request today. 2 SVTs.
Of course,
I'm telling you.
I got to ask you: do you both SVTs live, or are you using one as a backup and one just running?
Okay, here it is, and I want to thank you, Dino, because I saw a video you did. Because my brain didn't work enough to figure that out. I would usually 2-ohm it and plug both cabinets up. But I'm always afraid I'm going to kill a backline head. Because I have to say, although the SVT is a mighty bulletproof monster, improperly maintained, they could get a little wonky, just like any tube amplifier. Normally I show up on show day. First thing I do, plug the SVTs and turn them on. Get them off of standby. Let them get hot. And then I bias. If I can bias it, it's going to be a good night. So, but I just saw a video you did about slaving them. And running them both at 4 ohms. So I'm going to try that this weekend. or the next weekend when I'm out there. Yeah.
Yep.
But
just power amp in.
Yeah. There's no replacement for displacement, and 1610s is it. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
No,
it's true.
You're moving a lot of air.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
and that's the
fact
thing.
of being loud. It's coverage.
Yeah.
And that I remember bringing an 810 cab to my we call them GB gigs here up in New England, general business, wedding gigs.
Right. Okay.
And I rolled an 810 cab into the Marriott Copley for a wedding with an SVT, nice. and the keyboard player is like, I forget why I even did it, but anyway, my excuse to him, and I remember I say this all the time now, I'm not going to be loud, I'm just going to be big.
Yeah.
I would have said, "Where's your Leslie, bro? You're not going to bring a Leslie?"
Right. Right. That's right. Right. It's not about, yeah. It's how many molecules you're going to be moving around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yep. No, it's laws of physics. You have to move air, and in order to move air, you got to have speaker surface or some sort of, some sort of magic in the cabinet, whatever.
Plus it looks cool.
You have to move air.
Yeah.
And
Tim, if you're ever around our Calabasas headquarters, or if we ever bring it back to NAMM, we got to get Tim to play the Beast.
Oh yeah,
I would love that. I have never been to the headquarters ever.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
It is.
Okay.
No, don't eat anything beforehand, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play it on an empty stomach.
I don't think the Beast is going to make an appearance at NAMM ever again.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
How dare you say
that? Calabasas to look at it.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Every time the conversation comes up, it's like, yes, we should bring it back.
Yeah.
But it's
dude, I'll help set it up. I'll volunteer. Okay.
I forget how many guys were on the crew the last time they brought it in, but it was like
it was intense.
I saw it once, like I think 2018, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. It was the 2019 NAMM show.
19. That was when you guys had the whole building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Many floors and okay. And it was in like the big. Yeah.
It was in the Marriott, over in the Marriott in that whole hallway. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. That was Yamaha Guitar Group had just purchased Ampeg.
That was what it was. It was the first year Yamaha had you guys. I had to go to the other building to see you.
Yeah. You never know where I'm going to be at NAMM.
Yeah. You had a little room, but it was in a hallway. Yeah.
I think, Dino, I'm going to make a campaign for you to be on the NAMM bingo card, like a Dino spotting.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that to me. It is. I got to say, like, NAMM, and anybody that's watching this, if you haven't been to NAMM, granted, it's an industry show. It's supposedly closed to just, manufacturers and dealers, but that's so far gone at this point. Yeah. Like, in fact, I think they have a public there. It's open to the public, but
I think it's
my
open
point
to the
being,
public all the time now.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's folks that they schedule their annual family vacation around NAMM, where, hey, we're bringing the family to Anaheim. The family's going to spend a couple of days at Disney and California Adventure. I'm going to go do NAMM, and then we're all going to get back together and do. And it's like, if you're a musician, man, I can't think of a bigger candy store to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus, you never know who you're going to bump into at the Hilton.
Yep.
Right. Right.
Oh,
or you might even see me there.
Or at the taco truck. Right. Yeah. You just never know. It's so cool. I'll never forget my first one.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
It was just insane.
Man. So
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so what is your official role with Tech 21 now?
Oh, okay. I am, like Dom, product manager.
Okay.
Sorry to hear that. Okay.
No, it's great. I love it, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's like working in heaven, Product manager, artist relations, artist. I do the videos. I do the editing. I fix the doors. I get lunch sometimes. basically, you name it, I do it. But primarily it's product manager, production manager, artist relations, social media stuff, and
you're basically Dom and I rolled into one person.
Yeah.
And then some. Actually Dom, Aaron, myself, and a few other people. Yeah.
Well, it's a smaller infrastructure.
Yeah.
At Tech 21, and you have to wear multiple hats, and it's fun. And I'm just the type of guy, I just don't know how to say no.
I get that too. Yeah.
If something needs handled, it just got to get handled, so just let me do it. And if I don't suck at it, it becomes my job,
I take it Don is a coworker.
No, he's a fan.
Okay.
Don's a fan. Hi, Don. And I manage the general shenanigans as well.
That's always the best job out of them all, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, there's shenanigans. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know about shenanigans.
Oh man.
So,
and
I have an SVT story.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. So I kind of prefaced this with Dino earlier, but it's kind of a funny story. I get a message on Facebook. Hey man, do you want to buy an SVT? This is when I'm living down in Florida. I'm like, well, I got 2 already, but yeah, sure. What do you want for it? He's like, $500. Sends me a picture. I'm like, all right, it's a good head. It's one of the older heads, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm on my way to a gig. Let me stop by and check it out, and I'll buy the head if it turns on. So I go in, and there's the head sitting on an A10 cabinet with a with a rolling road case. I am so sorry about that. With a rolling road case. And I go, all right, well, what do you want for it all? He goes, $500. I go, really? You're going to sell me the whole thing? He's like, yeah, sure. He goes, yeah, my ex-son-in-law at SansAmp, or my son-in-law, I just want to get rid of it out of my house, So I'm looking at the road case. It says lynch mob.
Oh my God.
I'm like, is this okay? Are you sure? He goes, yeah. He's fine with it. An American 25th anniversary.
Wow.
SVT with the cab and the lynch mob flight case.
Unreal.
Yeah. Sorry, Anthony. And the bench certificate. Yeah. 324 watts.
Yeah. I was going to say that's like mid 90s. When
95 or whatever. But that is my number one SVT, and it has been ever since. It's rock solid. It's the only one that leaves the house.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. It's for anybody that's I used to refer to them as the rainbow graphics. So it's got the blue, red, blue logo on the front.
Yep.
Okay.
The old, the script. And I was telling Tim too, I had the same exact amp back from, I forget what year it was. I sold my SVT2. I had a rack mount SVT2, which I should have never sold, to get this SVT. And then I had that SVT was my main SVT for, 15, 20 years almost. And then I sold that, which, we always go through these things. I should have never sold it. Well, those are the 2 amps that I probably shouldn't have sold. And I'm considering selling my 69 SVT, but it's like, I know I'm going to go through that phase again.
No.
Every time we have SVT time, I see it, and I'm like, I got to get an actual 69. I got to get I'll buy yours.
So
I'll buy yours. Bring it over.
Yeah, right.
So there's 2 morals here. Like Dale says, and Dino, never sell gear.
Yeah.
You'll always regret it. And number 2, don't leave gear at your father-in-law's house.
Yeah.
So,
don't leave gear at your ex-father-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's ex or not. I can't remember.
That's true.
I really don't think there was any shenanigans going on. I think it was just cool. But talk about falling backwards into a pot of.
That's funny.
I think I sent you a picture after I stuffed it into my car and look what I just found.
I remember you sending me that too.
Yeah.
I remember you sending me
out of there so fast.
So I am going to put you in touch with Anthony
Do that. He can't have it back.
Oh no, he can't. It's fair game. No, trust me, Anthony's got enough SVTs and A10 cabs with he's such a cool dude as well.
Yeah.
You know. He reached out to me a while ago. He was refurbing a bunch of cabs for what band is he with? Geddy Lee. But he refinished all his cabs in red with red grills, and he was hitting me up for badges and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, nice. But I'll put you two together.
Oh yeah, please.
So, but that is so true, man. It's like, don't ever sell gear. And I did sell a couple of basses to recoup some funds. I just bought a 71P bass, so it was kind of like,
oh nice.
All right, I've got basses that I'm not playing. A couple of I sold two not old Lakelands, but Lakeland Skylines that I sold because I wanted this 71P bass. So it was kind of a swap, you know.
I have a P bass.
I had to have it. You gotta have a P bass.
I used it on a track on the last YYNOT album. It's a 77.
Okay.
Where is it? Where is he? I don't know. Oh, it's hanging on my. There it is, right here. It's hanging on my SVT on my bass amp hanger.
There you go. That's a 77.
Beautiful, yeah, or 76. Nice.
Oh, nice.
See that? Mocha.
Yeah.
It was. They needed more black ones that day at Fender.
So they just painted over it.
Isn't that great?
That's so great. Awesome.
And then you could see where the dude's thumb ate a hole through the back.
Wow. Yeah. He must have been a country player.
Yeah, and this is this is big leaf maple.
Okay.
So it weighs like 15 pounds.
I was gonna say
I enjoy heavy basses. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a certain weight for me to feel like it's substantial enough to like reverberate and feel against my body when I'm playing in terms of that frequency.
Yeah.
Something too light, I'm skeptical.
It's a heavy hitter, man.
Yeah, it's gonna. I've always wondered, like, when guys complain about lifting SVTs, and I remember when we launched the Portaflex heads, the PF 500, which is 500 watt head, came in at about I don't know, it was probably somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds. I don't remember, but
that one's like 11 pounds or something.
Yeah, and I remember at NAMM, this dude was complaining to me. He was like, you couldn't make it any lighter, like 15 pounds. I was like, dude, it's a 500 watt head, weighs 15 pounds. And then I asked him, I said, what do you play for a bass? He goes, well, I got a Federa, 5-string Federa. So, and I know Federas aren't light basses. I mean, but I was like, I didn't ask him what the weight was. I was like, so let me get this straight. You'll hang a 10-pound bass off your shoulder for 4 sets a night. Or whatever, and you're going to complain about carrying a 15-pound amplifier from your car to the stage and back again. Like, come on, So I'm of that same thing. Like, dude, I carry SVTs and V4Bs, and I love my Venture stuff for when I don't want to have to carry stuff like that, or if it's a quick load and load out. But I mean, I bring an SVT or a V4B to 90% of my gigs still to this day.
Yeah, man. I have to say, I'm getting up there in age, but an SVT 810 is the easiest cabinet for me to move around.
Totally agree.
You just, what I'm talking about, right, Dom? It's a hand truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. And it's got glides on the back. Yep. You just yank it up the stage. You just drop it down the corner of the stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up the stairs, down the stairs. It just it's I throw it in my dude, my whole rig, my SVT, my head, 2 sets of Roland PK5 Taurus pedals, keyboard stand, 2 basses, and my in-ear rack all fit in my 2019 Kia Soul.
Nice.
I
swear to God.
Yeah.
That's why I bought that car. Me and Dale were measuring the cabinet. It'll fit. And it all fits.
There you go.
Cool. That's amazing.
So it's perception. Just because it's big and beefy, it's actually the easiest thing to move around. It really is.
I did a video on that a long time ago about loading an 810 cab in the back of your van. It really is. It's like just load it like a gurney.
I put the big diaper on it. You know, the big cover, the padded cover.
Yeah.
I flip it on its side. I pick it up by the wheels, slide it in.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to deadlift it. You know.
I'll never forget buying my first 810 AV. It's like 23, 24, and then I was loading it in. I think at the time of Jeep Patriot, and same thing. I was like, "Oh, this is so easy," and I just threw it in there real quick. But I didn't pay attention to the hatch that where the rear door comes down and like sticks into, and the thing just like literally, I had it like an hour, just ripped the toe like down. I was like, I earned an SVT today. Not ready to play. Yeah.
Hey, we got a couple of announcements to make today. Actually, first off, and I think I did this before, and Haji, if you're listening, I didn't call up the website, but if you could, well, actually, it's on the Ampeg website, anyways. But we have a new swag company.
If you go, it's ampegmerch.com.
Ampegmerch.com. Thank you. Yeah. So, we have a new merch company that we're working with. They're doing that. They're doing the jack rack, the little keychain holder. Amps, thank you. I'm going to put it up there now. But they're also handling all of our swag now, so you can go there and get sweatshirts and T-shirts and all sorts of really cool stuff, and stickers as well, and
mugs and straps and hats and
and you know, I don't know what the shipping deal is. I know it's a lot cheaper than I think what we were doing for shipping at one point, because we were getting killed in shipping charges from UPS on merch. But so ampegmerch.com. Will the merch shop ship internationally to Australia?
I think it does.
Dom, do you remember if we had that conversation with them about shipping internationally?
I think we did, and I think it does. And
Cameron, I'm glad you brought that up, because we have to find that answer, and we have to ask the plugins guys. I think it does, actually.
Yeah, well, at least on the top toolbar, you can search and basically look at a bunch of different currencies per country.
It might not be set up to show up in your country. We'll have to figure out how to get around that. But that's a great question, and we'll have an answer for you.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
I
was going to say, I had mentioned this to Tim. We did something today.
We did something today.
Oh, you already showed it anyways.
No, I showed this board. So this is obviously the SGTDI, if you remember what it looks like. And today, to celebrate our 75th anniversary of Ampeg, we have a Blue Line Anniversary Edition.
Nice.
Yeah. And for anybody who owns either SGTDI, if you register your SGTDI, we're giving you 3 free IRs and a free IR pack to throw on here. It's the 810 AV, the 610 HLF, and the 115E.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, I never messed around with IRs.
Yeah. It's
remember the woolly mammoth.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. So have at it.
But you guys were talking about VTSs or VSTs and plugins and all that other stuff. So that's your way ahead of
keyboards. That's for keyboards. Yeah.
Oh, you know, Kirk was asking about a MIDI controller for SVT Suite, and I was wondering, Kirk, if you're using a foot switch MIDI controller, or you're looking for something like that, you could actually, if you have either HX Stomp or any Helix device, you could actually like program the MIDI CCs on that if that's connected in your system. You could actually trigger it with that, is a thought.
Yeah, because I know Kirk has been talking to me about possibly using the Suite live. I'm just reading this comment now. Looking for a MIDI controller for SVT Suite for live. I tried the Akai LP No Bueno. It didn't work. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you possibly could use it live.
A lot of guys are doing that now, honestly.
Suite live.
Like that program I mentioned earlier, Gig Performer. It's a live VST host. But we played with a band at the Stroudsburg Theater in Pennsylvania, our opening act. The whole band was using Gig Performer. The guitar player's whole rig was on a Mac. the keyboard was all on a Mac. I don't know if the bass players had that, but a lot of guys are doing that, you know, and it's kind of interesting, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, the woolly mammoth, I need big glowing tubes and lots of speakers, and, you know, SansAmp, you know.
You know, I don't know how to approach that. Like, is it? I mean, obviously, there's ease of use. If you're doing a bunch of fly dates, you don't want to have to carry an amp, a pedal, or a laptop, or you know. But I mean, I've done gigs here locally with just my Helix floor or my HX Stomp and my inner rack going, you know, hey, check out my bass rig, you know, like that. And it works and it's cool. But after the gig, it's, you know, obviously, you know, I'm an SVT guy. We're all, it's like, no, next gig, I'm bringing a rig. There's no way. You know, but it's almost like on the ride home that night, I'm thinking, am I doing it just for bragging rights? Like, I know I'm doing it because I want to try something new.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see if it'll work. You know what I mean? So that I can go to other guys and say, yeah, it definitely works if you want to go ampless or you want to do that sort of thing. But, you know, in some cases, it's like, you know, we getting smaller and less gear for bragging rights. Like, I remember, you know, back when I first started playing, the bigger your bass amp, that was your bragging right. It's like, look at this. I got 4 8 10 cabs and 4 heads. Check out my rig.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to be Glenn Hughes.
Yeah.
Right?
I still do. I wish I could sing like the guy.
Oh my God, right?
You know?
Dude, we went and saw him last year. He's a freak of nature, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't
he?
Is.
It's such another sweetheart of a guy. Like, just.
I was gonna say, also, any bassists that are out there with like a Helix rack system, and they want to do the Taurus pedal thing, there's an actual preset that I made in the MIDI templates, I think, set list, and it has all the they're all set up as oh my gosh, what's the word? Not latching, but help me out.
Momentary.
Thank you. Momentary foot switch, and they all have different notes set, and like the oscillating synth is in the preset, so you literally just.
Oh really? Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
As long as you want and everybody was like looking at me like when we were setting up Helix, like, what is this? I'm like, bass players will find this one day and love it.
And thank you for
it. So it was like a little Easter egg in there,
right? Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hey, getting back to the ampless thing.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like primarily my SVTs are there for me. You know, honestly, I like to have that.
Yeah.
Even though I got in-ears in, you know, I'd like to have my amp behind me. It's a security blanket for me.
Yeah.
It's just it's what rock and roll is all about to me.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes I feel like, you know, the ampless, and I understand the need to have to do stuff like that, you know, especially in huge arenas. You know, no one's going to hear your amp anyway. You know what I mean? 50,000 seat arenas. Why even bring it? You know, but I feel like some of the shows that I've seen where they were ampless, you know, you pay top dollar to sit up close like that.
Mm-hmm.
And really all you're getting is drums.
Yeah.
You know, they got little monitors aiming at you, you know, and you're getting bleed from the PA, you know, in the array, but you're just not getting slammed in the face by Marshall, you know, you know what I mean?
Listener, I really missed that. There are a few rock bands that I love that I won't name because I really love them. And I totally understand how touring ampless with Helix or Axe-Fx or whatever systems is totally economical. I totally get it. But I had seen some of my favorite bands recently in the last like 3 years, and they were all on the Axe-Fx systems. And exactly what you're saying is like I was up front and I was like, all right. And it just felt so stale and like not. And I was at a venue where they're it's a real bummer that they have to deal with this now. Like the SPL levels couldn't be that loud because of the neighborhood, you know, ordinances and whatever. So it was just like I was like, why am I here? Like this doesn't feel like a rock. I want to leave a little bit ringing, you know. I want to I want to have a little bit of that ring at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even as a player standpoint, it's like I feel the same way. I like the warm blanket feeling. I like having an amp, but it also it inspires you to play differently too.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
great point. Okay. When you sound good, you play good.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. No matter what you're using, if you hit that button and it sounds great, you're inspired to play. And that's the business we're in, guys.
Yep. Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it is so true because like testing products or whatever, or I'm at my desk at work with my headphones on and I'm like, oh, it sounds great. Next thing you know, hey, what's going on? Sorry, I got lost. I got lost in that land when I was 13. Just jamming. And that's what we do. We're selling that dream, man. Because that dream is a reality.
Absolutely. It's again, it all comes down to pick up an instrument, pick up whatever inspires you to play. That's the big thing. So, man, this once again, the hour has completely flown by, which we knew it was gonna. But I do have one thing I didn't put in the questionnaire, Tim, when I sent you over the outline for today's talk is I've got some questions to ask.
Yes, secret questions, huh?
So this is basically what we call my rapid fire. I asked 13 quick questions.
Okay.
They're simple questions. And you just got to give me what pops in, and they're this or that type of answers.
Okay.
So, all right. So you ready? And after today, after today's conversation, we kind of already figure out what the answers are going to be. Yeah. So like question number 1 is P bass or jazz bass?
Jazz bass.
Of course. Number 2, passive or active?
Passive.
Yep. Number 3, rounds or flats?
Rounds.
Number 4, B15, SVT, or Pro Series?
SVT.
See? Number 5, cable or wireless?
Wireless.
Okay.
I got to move around. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, you got stuff to do. You got pedals to step on.
Right.
Number 6, pick or fingers?
Fingers.
Yep. Number 7, IEMs or floor wedges?
IEMs only because they work now for me.
Yep. That is kind of a tough. You got to qualify that one. Number 8, pedals or no pedals?
Pedal.
Yep.
Nice.
I think we'd both be out of a job if we didn't say pedals.
I mean it. Pedal, one pedal.
Yeah.
Now getting into travel, window or aisle seat?
Window.
Aha. Okay. High bunk or low bunk?
Low bunk.
Or middle bunk?
Low bunk.
Which one? Low bunk. Okay.
Yeah.
Black with white piping or silver and blue anniversary? Black. There you go. Okay. Hot chocolate, coffee, or tea?
Coffee.
Spoken like a true Northeasterner. Number 13, favorite place to eat when you're on the road? And this could be a chain. This could be a little hole in the wall that you want to hip us to.
Well, it used to be White Castle.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Wow. And you're picking a window seat.
Right. Hey, I'm safe. No, absolutely on the road. I love Denny's after the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Denny's is like a milestone.
Yeah. The Superbird.
Nothing like I was gonna say nothing like a good moons steak over Miami.
Yeah. and primarily for the camaraderie after.
Yeah.
That's the big thing is the after gig breakfast with the band,
Yeah.
So before we sign off, Ross has one question for you here, and I'm gonna put it up here, and if you can answer, if you can't answer, if you have to shoot us, if you tell us, that's fine too.
Hey, Ross, yes, there are some cool stuff coming out. And no, I can't tell you about it.
Just like that.
Maybe you send us some protos and we'll tell them about it.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I got no problem with that. No, no, there's some cool stuff coming down the pipe, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's always cool stuff coming out of Tech 21. So
yeah.
But
it never stops. Yeah.
It never does. And like I said, like I said at the very beginning of this broadcast too, it's like this is, I'm so glad you could join us on this, and hopefully you'll come back. And is YYNOT putting out another album or another CD anytime soon? You working on anything?
We got something coming out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We may yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's
we are working on something.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what it is yet.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you because I don't know myself, but it is coming out.
All right. Year. Fair enough. And just, we'll keep an eye on the website and we'll keep in touch on this. And
I hope to see you guys at the show.
Dude, seriously. And keep us posted on the Bubba Bash in January too. Keep us, well, it's in January, you said, right? Or
January 10th.
January 10th. Okay. So
Saturday,
before NAMM. So it can kind of tie into the whole NAMM venture thing.
Yeah, a nice stressless week before a stressless couple of weeks. Right?
Oh, you know it all so well.
It's like herding, 35 cats to Bubba Bash.
Yeah.
But they're all really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all working for a common cause, which
listen, I couldn't do it without Dale. My head would just explode. So she helps out a ton.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer one more of Ross's questions here.
Oh boy.
How can we get those IRs, and where's that Helix MIDI playlist? It should be in, I believe there's a set list called templates, and it should be in there in all the Helix devices. And then in terms of this guy, if you get one of these, by the way, it comes with a pretty blue box with the foil ink. But, so we got the blue line is out today. If you register this, or if you register your other SGTDI, the original one, then a free IR pack download link shows up in your account. And that's how you do it. And I'm stoked to put this next to my anniversary edition SansAmp bass driver.
I'm going to call the lighting director and have him just put the spot right on his pedal board so it blinds him.
Yeah,
so it just reflects right up
at him. Yeah.
A pencil spot. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much. Everybody calling in. Again, we can't do this broadcast if you guys don't call in and listen. And so I appreciate everybody. Dom, Tim, Haji, Aaron, everybody that makes this thing happen. Next week, actually, I think we're off next week, but April 1st, our next guest will be Haley Jane Batt. You don't want to miss that one.
Cool.
Haley's awesome. Another keyboard, pedal, bass, vocals, like one of those types of players that you just kind of go, I can play roots and fifths. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Bye, everybody, and thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tim.